And we are the Sexy Happy Couple, and this is Sexy Healthy Cooking.
So we're vegan, which means we don't eat anything that comes from animals, only those things that come from plants, and that keeps us very sexy.
And we like to make food and show you how to do it, and also we have a special guest each week from the adult entertainment industry, and we are delighted to have on the show with us today the one and only Damon Dice.
Woo!
Here he is.
How's it going? How's it going?
Good.
We actually shot a scene with Damon recently and worked that into the show if you stick around, so check it out.
I know I'm not a vegan, but I am a vegetarian, so work with it.
Absolutely. So in honor of Damon being from Maryland, we are going to make crab cakes today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so vegan crab cakes.
And you do have a cooking background too.
Yes, I do.
That is really, we didn't plan that, but it worked out that way.
I grew up in a family of chefs and grill masters, and I have a degree in hospitality management, so took a bunch of cooking classes and culinary classes in college, and I was actually a chef before I got into the adult industry, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is the pressure more being a chef or being a male performer?
Honestly, there's been times in the kitchen it's been more stressful in the kitchen than it has been on the porn set, surprisingly.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's they're both high stress situations for a male performer, but it's different dynamics for sure.
Yeah, okay.
So
Things get messy in both realms, so that's the common denominator.
So how did you get into the porn industry?
How did I get in? Oh, that's a multi-answer question. I've always been an exhibitionist. I've always been into sex. I've always enjoyed people watching me have sex. So it's kind of like the thing that allowed me to get into it without any issues. There's a girl I went to college with actually. She got into the adult industry and kind of met some people through her and was acclimated to the industry, met some people, and just, I realized being a chef and cooking and hospitality wasn't my thing at the time, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to jump into porn. Just
literally following your passion.
Yeah, literally followed my passion.
Talk about that figuratively.
I dove in head first.
All right. And how long have you been doing that?
I've been in for a year and a half now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's been a good year.
Yeah, we have noticed, we pay attention to adult entertainment, and we've seen your star rising
Thank
there.
you, I appreciate it. Yeah,
Very cool.
It's been a fun time.
So Damon, I'm wondering if you could finish dicing this celery for me
What's my
while I
specialty?
get some of the other ingredients ready.
Of course.
Dice.
Dice
Aha.
away.
Yeah, I thought we were going there.
Things get a little dicey when I'm around.
So you look at this technique. Yes.
So you put your hand on top of the blade like this, and this is a chopping knife. So you see the serrated edges right here, so it kind of releases well.
Yep.
Go here, and you just go a real rocking motion.
Oh.
Get this thing diced up.
There you go. Let's see. Let me give it a try.
Yeah, go ahead and just rock and chop.
Okay, so we're doing that.
Yep. Use that as leverage. You make that a fulcrum and just.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do have some usefulness here, even though Carmen is the one.
A lot of people do it wrong. They when they're dicing, they see it on TV and in the movies. They're like,
yeah, exactly.
they do that.
No,
it
no.
goes all over. That's not how you want to do it. You just
Okay.
do the rock and chop. That's what it's called.
Smooth.
Rock and chop.
Just like the sex, right? Just
Yeah, it's smooth. It's about
grooving.
It's about pace. It's not speed.
There you
It's
go.
about pace.
Now, what do you like to eat? I mean, you're not vegan, we know that, and we're not like sort of pushing that on you, but.
Well, I like to cook for myself. I like to eat healthy, because as a adult performer, it's kind of, I look at myself as a professional athlete.
Oh, yeah.
So athletes, they have to train, they have to eat well. A lot of carbohydrates for energy. So post, before I work out or before I have sex, I'll have a lot of carbohydrates, and then post, when you're recovering, I have a lot of protein. So my diet, I have a lot of breads, pasta, and then post, I do eat meat like steak and chicken, but it's all clean, healthy.
So carbs prior, protein
after, and then veggies and fruit all mixed in. I don't like eating fried foods or anything that's processed. It's all natural and fresh is what I try to go for.
And you're working out, looks like regularly, right?
Working out regularly, yeah. Say 3 to 5 days a week. It really depends on the shoot schedule. If I'm shooting a lot, that's a workout on its own. So it's like some days, I'll go out and see, and I'm just done. I can't go lift.
And trust me, knows what he's speaking about, and we did this scene the other day. Wow, for me, yeah, that is a workout. So yeah.
So yeah, that's my perspective on it. Is we're professional athletes of the sex industry.
Yeah.
So it's kind of we don't get paid as much, but it's still
Well,
I get the glory.
Wish that would change.
Right?
I don't know why that is. Somebody once said if you watch sports all day or you watch video games all day, you're fine. But if you watch adult entertainment all day, that's some kind of
I know, right?
issue. And wow. So.
You can watch guys playing football and trying to kill each other, and that's all glorified. And then you watch sex, you're like, oh no, you can't.
That's right.
It's all...
And here's Carmen.
Right. So one of the main ingredient in our crab cakes is tofu. So instead of crab, we're using tofu. And I have asked Damon to grate some of the tofu first, but we need one more block. And the best kind of tofu you can get is this is a firm tofu. It is vacuum packed, sprouted tofu, and it is very firm. If it's water packed, you actually have to press it between some paper towels with underneath a cutting board with a book on it, but this extra firm sprouted vacuum packed requires no pressing, and so that makes it very easy to work with. So
Okay.
there you go. Thank you very much.
Shred away.
There's the technique. Watch the knuckles, right?
Yep. Watch knuckles.
Boy.
It's about pace, not speed.
And that must be very firm tofu, because
Yeah,
the
it's
soft stuff you couldn't do that with.
It's the firmness of cheese.
Yeah. Okay.
So one of the things that I've noticed, Damon, is that the women get paid a lot more than the men do
That is correct.
in porn. And, yet the public says, gee, women are being exploited, and it's so horrible. They never talk about men being exploited, but when you get paid so much less, doesn't it seem like you're the one getting exploited?
It is inequality of pay. I know that's an issue in our country, and in this instance, the guys are kind of
Right?
getting
This has got to be the only instance where men get paid less for doing the same work.
Well, not the same work. I think
Okay,
you're
fair
working
enough.
harder.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say on camera that we do more work, but
That would be my observation.
Yeah,
so I will say that.
Well, the market is for the women, the people. That's generalization. Most of the market is for the adult industry is focused on the women. So the guys are more or less props.
Right.
I feel like there's a shift in the paradigm with that. It's becoming more focused on the guy and the girl and the dynamic between the two, and less on just focusing on the girl. The only thing with the pay is, as a guy, we can shoot more than the girls can. So even though we're not getting paid as much, we can shoot more than the girls. So say
because there are fewer of you, or what?
there's probably 10 to 1 guys. Probably 15 to 20 to 1 guys to girls.
Okay.
There's
Right,
20 girls for every
wow.
female performer.
Gee.
So there's less of us, and we can shoot 7 days a week. The girls, they can't do that because it's just like the wear and tear and just. So they're getting paid more, but we can shoot more frequently. And our careers as male performers are usually longer
Yeah,
than
that's
females.
true.
So there's guys in their 40s and 50s still performing.
Well,
Yeah,
Peter
well,
and I.
They've been doing
Right
it for 20,
on.
30 years. So it's like, yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's more longevity for the males in the adult industry. A lot of the girls, they just come in and get their glory for a year or two and then bounce out.
Must take a lot of discipline. I mean, like what you said earlier about professional athlete. Yeah, I mean, I imagine a lot of people in the audience think, oh, this is just sex, but
That's what they would think.
really, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of discipline. You got to watch everything you put in your diet, because some things might affect you differently. I've learned that if I drink coffee the day of a shoot, like it completely affects my,
Really?
Yeah, I just I can't perform the same.
Huh.
So it's like, learning curve. Like some things, like I've learned that if I drink watermelon juice, it helps me out.
Really?
I can't give away all my secrets, but yeah, I've got there's certain parts of my diet that will help performance, or some things that in my diet will inhibit performance. It's like if you drink too much alcohol, that will
Sure.
affect
Yeah,
you.
that will.
So there's a lot of factors: rest, diet, exercise. There's so many. The girl you're working with is so many different variables to really make a good scene and performer.
Sounds like no day is the same.
No, it's every day's different. Every
That's
day's
right.
different. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's always,
Yeah, and
it's
how
a challenge.
frequently do you cook as part of it? Never. So
Every day's different.
Every day is different.
What do
so
we have here?
These are oyster mushrooms, and they are going into the crab cake. So if you would be so kind as to dice the mushrooms, that would be great.
That's the word for
Thank
today.
you.
Boy. All right.
For sure.
So, more dicing away. So you live in California?
I live in Los Angeles, yes.
Oh, okay. Must be exciting.
It is very exciting. I was actually born there.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Maryland, so I was born in California. I grew up in Maryland, outside of D.C.
Huh.
Went to college in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Moved to Atlanta after I graduated, did an internship down there, and then back to North Carolina for a couple years, and back to California.
Wait, now North Carolina, a small town, or?
I went to college in East Carolina University, which
Yeah.
is Greenville, North Carolina. It's a very small town, country town. The whole community pretty much revolves around the university. It's a university
College
Yeah,
town,
college
yeah.
town, yep. So
So then that's quite a transition to LA. Big.
massive.
Yeah.
It's completely two different dynamics. When I lived in the South, it was very well known for its soul food. Actually, they call it comfort food.
Yeah.
Depends on what part of the South you're in. If you're in Georgia, they call it comfort food. Up a little further north, they call it soul food.
Well, she can make great vegan comfort food,
I
like
can.
ribs and
Yeah.
anything you want. So.
Pork chops and hominy.
But today,
That's Iowa thing.
it's crab cakes
Right?
from Maryland.
Yeah.
So I'm-
Crustacean.
Crustaceans. So I've got the rest of the ingredients coming here.
Okay. Wow, what do we?
I know what that is.
What is that?
That is Maryland staple. That is Old Bay.
Oh.
Old Bay seasoning.
Okay, Old Bay.
That is something that every household in Maryland has. It's actually made in Maryland as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not
it
know
is
that.
in Baltimore.
Okay, so to make our crab cakes, we're going to add all of these things to the shredded tofu. So we will start with the oyster mushrooms. The oyster mushrooms give the crab cake some good texture, as well as giving it some of that seafood flavor. So they're very important. The other thing that's very important is a little bit of seaweed, and this is just sushi seaweed that I've cut up one of those square things that you would make a sushi roll of, and put that in there because again it gives it some of that seafood kind of
Literally,
flavor.
right.
Literally, the sea.
From the sea.
And
What do we have
these
there?
are oats. Again, it gives it some texture. And a couple of tablespoons of onion powder. A couple of tablespoons of tamari sauce, which I generally prefer the low sodium variety when I can get it.
Tamari sauce.
Tamari
Yeah.
is soy sauce. Yeah. And then, of course,
Old Bay.
the critical Old Bay seasoning.
That's the most important part.
Most important part, some vegan mayo, which you can buy commercially, Veganese, or there are lots of recipes to make your own, which I will show you a little bit later in the show today. Some juice of about 1 to 2 lemon wedges, and then we have some diced celery.
Dice.
Diced, thanks to
And
Damon.
is there any truth that celery that has like a good reputation as a male performer?
It does. It
Yeah.
is. It is.
Okay.
Right?
You got a lot of celery. I
will
want
give you
more.
Bigger.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
a
then
pop. Yes,
It'll help
indeed.
the pop shot.
finally,
All right.
some green onion. And so we are going to mix all of this together.
Boy.
For you?
Yep, go for it.
That
I
is,
usually end up putting my hands in it to get it mixed
You want me to go?
thoroughly.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
washed. We'll do it.
Go for it.
We'd like to get dirty here.
Right?
Ah. Hands on.
Hands on. So
Hands on, hands on.
once we get that all mixed up, the next thing to do is to make them into the crab cakes. And I have just gone out and gotten some cookie cutters to use as a mold. So it just this round cookie cutter, and once this gets mixed up, you'll find that it gets to be pretty sticky. So you can go ahead and put it in the cookie cutter mold, and then it'll pop out, and we will stick them in the oven.
Just think of all the crabs that were spared.
Oh, right? Yeah. They're actually they're not becoming endangered, but they're becoming less, because a lot of the crabs come from the Chesapeake Bay in
Oh.
Maryland.
Yep.
So they're not as plentiful or bountiful as they were, say, 20 years ago.
Interesting.
So they're being over harvested because they're so delectable.
There you go. So now with your work, do you get any time to cook anymore?
I do, not as much as I would like to, because I'm always like, on the road traveling, so that's really inhibits my cooking. I usually do meal preps, so like if I'm home on the weekend and I'm working all week, I'll cook, like I'll spend, 4 hours cooking, I'll make all my food for the week. So I have it all ready, so I don't have to cook throughout the week, and it's all in Tupperwares and ready to go.
Yeah, we do a lot of cooking on the weekends and then freeze it and eat it
Yep.
throughout the week. So,
I think we're mixed.
Well, that feels really good. Okay.
Carmen wanted to get her hands dirty.
Yeah,
Right.
this is like a Tom Sawyer thing. I'm thinking maybe I need to get in there too, but I don't know.
I don't know that
You're
you
the smart
will.
one here.
You're the
Okay,
pro, so
so-
I'm just...
I got a little parchment paper on the cookie sheet here to make sure that they don't stick. Just stuff those in there, get a little bit more, make sure it's nice and full. And pop it out,
Voila.
and there is a crab cake. So, do one more, and
Question, so are we
Yeah.
going to bake these or
we are gonna
hand-
bake them.
Okay.
Yes, because this is the low-fat version of
Sexy, healthy
healthy
cooking.
healthy
Because
cooking.
So
there's
low-fat, vegan, yeah.
several ways to cook, just some experience of cooking crab cakes. Several ways to cook them. You can pan sear them,
Mm-hmm.
you can use butter, you can use oil, or you can also bake them.
So they are baked ones, because a lot of them.
Yeah,
I've seen
it really
are-
depends. Sometimes if you bake them right, they're good, but a lot of people over bake them and it dries them
It
out.
dries them out, sure.
Yeah, because crab meat's a very
Very delicate.
delicate, so if it's just a touch too much, you can dry it out.
Oh,
As opposed to tofu, which is really not delicate at all.
nope. Bean curd.
Bean curd.
With a name like that, no wonder it's a little challenging to get the mainstream, but
Yeah,
tofu is a little bit better, yeah. Now your schedule when you're shooting, like what time you gotta be on the set typically?
Usually on set anywhere between 10 to noon.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I'll be on set for, a short shoot would be 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks ago I was on set for 18 hours.
My goodness.
Whoa.
And my sex scene didn't start till 3.
18 hours in a day?
Yep.
Wow.
Well-
So you got a book to read or?
No, I was in hair and makeup for 4 hours of that 18
Okay.
hours.
Hair.
They shaved my head. I had
Oh.
my head shaved for a role I just did.
Okay.
And then they painted my whole body green. So that's
Oh, really?
So that was like the majority.
Fascinating.
I had
That's
this
different.
whole body armor suit on. I was a super villain.
Wow.
Cool.
Superman.
All right. Well, I think
18 hours.
we should put these in the oven, and while they're baking, perhaps you all would like to see the video that we made the other day.
Sounds good.
Uh-oh.
This is so cool.
I know. I can't wait.
Oh, we're gonna have so much fun.
I know.
Our first tape, and I got Damon Dice
Okay.
to come and help us shoot.
And who's he?
Big time professional performer. You've probably seen him on the web. I mean, he's awesome, so it's gonna be really fun.
Very cool. I'm excited. So when's he supposed to get here?
Like any time now.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's what I was talking about. Okay. Ready?
I am. All right. Don't keep it waiting. It's hot out there.
I know. Damon,
How's it going?
great to meet you.
Nice
I'm
to meet
Joe.
you.
I wrote you that email.
Yeah, my wife Carmen.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Finally meet
Thanks
you
for
guys.
coming.
You guys ready to do this? I got all the equipment and
Excellent.
make some home video.
That sounds fantastic.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you. We'll go in here. Yeah, this is our set, if you want to go on that.
This little setup you guys have.
Yeah. Worked well.
Be able to take some nice pictures in here.
Yeah, we got good natural light.
Cool.
Yeah, you sometimes get airplanes flying
Yeah.
above that you might hear. I don't know whether
Hopefully.
that matters.
Feel free to come and see.
So you guys brought me here today to kind of go through what I do on a regular basis, make adult videos.
Yeah, right.
And so I'm going to be behind the camera this time instead of in front of the camera and show you guys and walk you guys through what it takes to make a sex tape.
Okay.
So first off, we're going to start with still pictures. So we're going to take pictures of you kind of going through the act. And then once we're done with photos, we're going to go straight to video. And that's the fun part. So we'll go from, taking all the pictures of the positions and then make it to the video and then the grand finale. You guys all know what that is.
Ah, yeah.
The pop shot. So
Yeah.
we'll kind of work up to that. You guys have any questions or, advice or anything you need to ask me?
Okay.
I do this professionally, so
Yeah.
I can be able to help you out. And
Excellent.
anything you need, just let me know.
Very cool. Very good.
Yeah, well, why don't you come and have a seat here and we can talk through what our plans are.
So we'll start with some stills.
Correct.
Okay, wow, we've never done that. That should be interesting.
So yeah, a lot of people when they think about porn, they think it's just videos. What they don't realize is you guys take pictures too. It kind of represents the story before they actually watch the video. So a lot of people like to see pictures before they go through the whole video. So start with that, kind of get you guys making out. And the foreplay, you can't miss the foreplay before you get into the hardcore stuff. And let's take it step by step.
So you've got your
Yeah.
stuff in there?
Got all my lights, cameras. Hey.
You like him?
Yeah, this is
I
good.
told you,
She's
cool
friendly.
guy.
Yeah, I'm friendly.
So we're gonna start out with the camera.
Okay.
Snap some still pictures, and then once we get through that, we can get to the video part.
Sounds
So I'm
good.
gonna go ahead and get
All
my
right.
stuff set up over here. You guys
Okay,
warm up amongst yourselves, and
All right.
I'll start snapping.
We
sounds
can
great.
handle that. I have the special ingredient for you.
just what we
Yes,
need.
lady first.
Oh,
there you go.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Get yours and do the
Yeah.
cheers.
All right then.
Excellent.
Cheers.
The crab cakes.
Crab
Crab
cakes.
cakes. Well, no crab cake is complete without remoulade sauce. So, we're going to make some of that to go with our cakes, and we have in the food processor some Morinu tofu because we need to make the mayo base first, okay?
And that's the real soft tofu?
That's the real soft tofu.
Okay.
And so initially to make the mayonnaise, we have the Morinu tofu, a couple of tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Recipe calls for 2 to 3. I find that 3 is a little bit much. A tablespoon of vinegar. And we are going to blend that up quickly.
And is that the special Dijon Dice mustard there? Yeah.
Is it a honey mustard? Or
It is a Dijon mustard.
Dijon, no honey.
Okay, no honey. And then, it's pretty good. And then you add just a little bit of lemon. A few drops of that without the seed, however.
Oh,
Yeah.
There we go. And a couple of drops of agave. And a few drops of agave.
little pop shot there of agave.
All right.
Thankfully, we're
And
not
that
at the dentist.
is
office.
mayo.
Sounds like it. All right.
Now, for our remoulade sauce, so I'm just going to fill that up for me, please. And we are then going to add in 2 teaspoons of fresh minced onion. Minced would be like double diced onion, thank you.
Diced.
And, right? And a teaspoon of diced capers,
Diced.
diced, and
The theme
It's a
here.
recurring theme.
a recurring theme, a tablespoon, of diced celery,
Diced.
a tablespoon of lemon juice,
Squeeze.
fresh squeezed from a
Nice.
lemon. All right. 1.5 teaspoons of Louisiana hot sauce. Go ahead and throw that in there. That is perfect. Need some pepper and a little bit of mustard. Mr. Mustard.
More mustard.
More mustard, right?
Heavy on the mustard.
Heavy on the mustard.
And this is the remoulade sauce.
Right.
This is.
Okay.
For
I don't know about my pronunciation on that, but do you know? Is that?
It's a French word. So that sounds about right. Remoulade. Remoulade.
Remoulade.
Depends on where you're from. If you're down south, they'll call it remoulade.
Remoulade.
That's right. Yeah,
Right.
maybe Cajun kind of
Okay.
deal. Yeah.
So now this needs to chill for about an hour to get maximum flavor. And so in the meantime, we're going to switch over and make some smashed peas. First thing that we need to do to make the smashed peas is to saute one diced onion for probably about 10 minutes, diced. For about 10 minutes, I typically use vegetable broth instead of oil because it keeps the fat down. And so just simmer them for about 10 minutes until they get soft. And then we'll add a pound of frozen peas and about a cup of vegetable broth, and we'll cook it for a few minutes until the peas get hot. All right, these onions have been nicely softened, and so now I'm going to add in a pound of frozen peas and about 3/4 of a cup of vegetable broth. Let's see here. That's pretty good. A little more broth. All right, and then we will just
Turn the heat up on this.
heat that up for me, please. And we'll just boil those up until they get nice and soft.
It's different from the typical adult industry thing. Soft.
Right?
Soft is not usually good in front of
Soft is
camera.
not what you want.
Right
And
now,
the
we
peas,
can
you
do
want
it.
your
David
peas soft.
specializes in not soft.
Yes. So we cook these in the puree then, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That's right. This will take about 10 minutes maybe, tops. 5 to 10 minutes at high temperature. Just need to bring them to a boil, and peas cook pretty quickly.
Now, here's the thing that people are always curious about.
Yeah.
Guys in the business, can you have like a relationship? I mean, we're married and, you know, another woman in the life of Damon Dice.
It can be difficult, but I'm actually in a relationship, and the person I'm in the relationship with, they're also in the industry, so like
So that helps.
they get it.
Yeah.
So like if I was dating, we call it like, and it kind of sounds a little weird, but like people out of the industry, if we date them, we call them civilians. So it's like they just
great,
don't
yeah.
understand like
Yep.
how it works and the dynamics, and it's just like kind of tough for them to kind of comprehend. But dating someone in the industry, they kind of get what I'm doing, and you know, I understand what they're doing. A lot of it's like, a lot of people have problems with like jealousy and kind of stuff like that. You know, you have to be open with your relationship and kind of, you know, communication. So communication is key with all relationships, especially if you're in the industry that we're in. So, you know, I understand that she's having sex with other guys, and she knows I'm having sex with girls, but it's like, you know, it's kind of a turn on. Like I like her, watching her have sex. Like I watch her work, and she likes to watch me have sex with other girls. So it's kind of, you know.
Well, which is exactly why we do what we do,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
Because you can always do it with each other, but it's
Right.
like adds a different, you know, it's kind of a third person perspective if you're watching, you know,
Right.
your wife or your husband have sex with someone
Well,
else.
and we found that with professionals,
Mhm.
there's no extra.
Baggage.
What is this, right?
Yeah.
You know, because
It
we tried
can-
bringing
yeah.
non-professionals in, and then there was this issue of like, okay, where is this going?
Oh,
is this the
yeah.
person? You know, and like, you know, we hire a professional, we pay you money, this is the job, we're doing it, and then
Yeah.
you know, we move on. And
Yeah.
it's not, there's no expectations.
As a professional, like you kind of learn the detachment, but you
Mhm.
still like you work with somebody, you still have the chemistry.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, you come in, you have the chemistry, you know, you do your thing, and then like, you know,
Right.
it's like sometimes after shoots, like we'll, you know, go out, you know, get a drink with the
Sure.
person or grab
Mhm.
lunch, or it's like all, you know,
Yeah.
what's it, platonic? Is that the word?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
Exactly. So we wrote this book, and we call it, you know how there's friends with benefits?
Uh-huh.
We call it monogamy with
Monogamy with benefits.
not even benefits.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a new way of looking at monogamy.
Right.
And I guess the bottom line is, like you're saying, I imagine sex with somebody you're in a relationship with is different from sex on a shoot that, you know, is just for that day.
Yeah.
And that's what we find that,
Yeah.
that we have, yeah.
It's definitely different. It's
Yeah.
definitely different.
Well, I'm going to get a little more
More
wine
wine.
for us. You
Great.
kids, you behave yourselves now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice wine.
It is a nice wine.
I can't leave him alone for a minute here.
Hey.
You. Isn't she the best?
She is. She's
You
great.
got it. Yeah. All right. We'll get
You
some.
found
more of
yourself a
this.
keeper.
That's
Yes.
good.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm guessing those peas are about ready to come off the stove, so I'm gonna go get those.
Do it.
I feel like the more wine we drink, the conversations will get a little.
I know. Yeah. It's good.
Beautiful peas.
Look at those peas.
Okay. Now these are no ordinary smashed peas. These are spicy smashed peas. And so to the peas I'm going to add about a teaspoon and a half of pepper, a tablespoon and a half of prepared horseradish, and a couple of teaspoons of mustard. Then we're gonna mix all of this up. Get out of there.
Sure.
There we go.
Smells good.
Yes. We actually, here in Vegas, ate at a pasty place, a Cornish pasty place, where they had vegan pasties, which was amazing, but they had smashed peas as a side. It was delicious.
Never seen smashed peas before.
No,
Yeah.
outside of England.
That's
or
a British, yeah.
What's the difference between smashed peas and mashed peas?
I think smashed sounds more
British.
exciting. Yeah, like we
I
smash
think
them.
in America
Smashing.
we mash them, and in Britain they smash them.
Yeah.
Bangers and
Bangers
bangers and mash. That's
Oh, that's
Irish.
No, that's Scottish.
Scottish, yes.
And we've had that vegan.
I made that.
Yeah.
I made bangers and mash, and then we also had that vegan in a restaurant in London, I believe. And we've had vegan haggis, which I don't know why anyone eat real haggis, quite honestly, because
Isn't that just like
it's like
when tested.
it's like liver and oats and really yucky stuff.
have you heard of scrapple?
Oh yeah.
No.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know that's basically what's left.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I put the peas in the food processor, and you want to process them just lightly because you don't want to make them like baby food, right? So you want to have just a little bit of chunks of peas in there, and so just process them lightly, and that's all there is to it. So we're going to have these smashed peas as a side to our crab cakes, and the other common side to crab cakes is French fries. So those are also in the
Yeah.
oven and will be ready soon.
Here we go. Wow, look at that. Okay, now I gotta say, that looks almost as delicious as your pussy.
I would second that.
Yes, indeed.
So we got crab cakes, smashed peas,
And French fries in the oven.
French fries. So that's the whole package.
That's the package, and I'll be right back with the fries.
Okay, go for it.
Package deal.
Yes, indeed. So, I think we'll be talking about relationships. Yeah, we did that. Let's think. Anything you want to talk about?
Anything I want to talk about?
Yeah.
I want to talk about. Married life.
Yeah, okay.
How's marriage different from when you're out dating? Kind of, what's the transition?
Well,
Because I'm going to be there eventually. So
okay.
it's like,
We both-
what's words of advice?
I would just say you're already where you need to be because you have a person that you can be very open about your sexuality. And that was the thing that in my first marriage just wasn't there. And then finally I got like, gee, this is just, I'm not young anymore, and I want to have a nice sexuality, good relationship. And so Carmen was divorced and I was divorced, and when we got together we just said, let's put it all out there and talk about what we like. And we found that we like each other, of course, but we still have desires with other people, and so that's how we got onto this lifestyle of monogamy with benefits.
Yeah.
And we have these little adventures, make some videos.
So with the monogamy part, does that kind of entail like you still have a swinger aspect to your life, or is it still you guys only having sex with each other, or like how's? If you say monogamy, it's like is it stretched monogamy?
Well, it's kind of monogamy. What would they call it? There's some formal term for this, but we have found that having sex with other people, we like to do it together, and people should be professional, because that way then it doesn't imply some relationship, right?
And I think the other part of the monogamy is the intimacy piece, right?
Okay.
Like you have with your partner, you don't have that same level of intimacy with people that you work with as you do with your partner. And so that's the monogamy piece too.
Yeah, and the advice, you'll know it when you have it, and if you're really lucky, you'll get somebody like her, because I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Right.
Yes. Look at that.
That looks fantastic.
All right, now I'm told that the real icing on the cake, so to speak, is the plating of the dish.
Yes,
Pallatio.
presentation,
Right?
the pallatio.
Pallatio.
Yes.
You minored in that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
All right. So
No, not look more cunnilingus. I'm a cunnilinguist.
A cunnilingus.
A cunning linguist.
English.
So we've got the crab cakes that baked at about 425 for 25-30 minutes until they're brown and crispy. We got French fries, frozen, or Ida, still very tasty. But then the smashed peas, the British flair for our meal.
So you got a little bit of, East Coast.
East Coast.
You got a little bit of English. You got a little bit of Midwest.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
very good.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a worldly dish.
It is a worldly dish. So if you were going to plate this in your expert
this.
culinary skills, we have the remoulade sauce and of course ketchup for the French fries.
So you want me to plate it?
I would like you to plate.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on. I said we can have a little competition. Winner gets a blowjob.
Okay. Well, obviously this is the centerpiece of the dish.
Okay.
So usually
Fair
in
enough.
plating, I've
All
learned
right.
this. You have the main thing in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's the focus. Let's see here. This.
He's moving those peas around now.
Oh, he's going to put the peas on the
Oh.
cake.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey,
Wow.
well, this is this culinary
That's right.
training.
French fries. Oh, that's fancy
We're doing a
schmancy.
pattern. Wow. Folks, I gotta say, this is very surprising, this level of skill. I guess it was that offer of the blowjob that
Yeah.
really
That's right.
inspired.
It's competition now. And then,
Yeah, the
what's
sauce.
the sauce?
The
It's
remoulade
The
sauce.
remoulade.
Which I'm a Star Trek fan, so I call it the Romulan sauce. Because
The ramen. We got that
That
in
is
there.
beautiful.
Boy, that is something.
okay,
All right. Folks, I am out of my league on this.
I would think you are. Yeah. While he's finishing his, I'm going to start my plating.
Now that's vegan Worcestershire sauce,
is.
right? Okay, well, this
I
is...
know it's a little fancy.
She's coming in hot.
I am.
Okay.
Oh, see, and he's got that's what I'm looking
Hot
for.
sauce, okay. Wow. Look at that. That
Just
does
a
an
little
interesting
decoration.
pattern.
I know.
That cake on there.
There. I didn't know about the center thing. You should have gone second. I'm gonna put those off to the side. That.
Typically, I usually let the woman go first. On selfish logic.
Well, you're the guest.
And then we're gonna throw those
Okay.
around there.
Lovely fries.
Lovely fries. And this is the remoulade sauce that every crab cake must have. It's kind of like tartar sauce, only fancy.
Well said. And ketchup.
And ketchup. From the
Look at that.
non-expert, I think he wins.
Well, now
actually.
wait, I got to do mine
Oh.
though. Yeah.
Oh.
So
And
it's-
if you notice on this one,
Yeah.
since we're making crab cakes, how many legs do crabs have?
Oh, seriously?
Okay.
8 legs.
All right.
Wow.
This is the legs, so there's crab in the middle.
That is, yeah, okay.
All right.
Fair
I'm gonna go commando
No
style.
pressure,
here.
no pressure.
Commando style. Just
Go get the
simple.
grain, go get the grain.
Yep. We're gonna just do that and get some fries here. Forgive my reach.
Just pile them on.
And the peas. Come on. There we
Nothing
go.
fancy.
And we got this Romulan sauce.
Romulan sauce.
Put that on there. And now watch this. I'm gonna take this ketchup. I'm just dumping it right on those fries. Because that's the kind of crazy mofo I am.
We're not worthy.
So yes.
We're not worthy.
Okay.
We're not worthy.
So I get the DJ, right? Oh, awesome. To each his own.
Looking at both of them, I think they both look great. I think it's a dual blowjob kind of day.
Double
Oh
blowjob.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's eat.
Sexy, healthy cooking.
Now that I'm done with the appetizers, let's eat.
All right, want to thank Damon for being with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Keep
Had a
rocking
good
and
time.
rolling.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And we'll see you next time on Sexy,
Sexy,
Healthy
Healthy
Cooking.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's eat.